Hi, this is Ari Helchak from Root Signals, presenting agent evaluations finally with the map. So the agent evaluation is rather art and science, and ultimately it is nonetheless required to actually ensure that your agents do what you expect them to do, especially when you're launching them in production. So without further ado, let's just dive right there into the map and start to get an understanding of what are all the things involved if you want to evaluate all the aspects of your agents. So the agent evaluation can be actually neatly divided to the semantic and behavioral parts of what the agents do. The semantic part is all about how do the representations of the reality that the agent has actually relate to the reality. Whereas the behavioral parts are all about how do the actions and the tools that the agent is using actually contributing to the achievement of the agent's goals in its environment. And ultimately what kind of effects it will have on its environment as well. The semantic part is further divided into what could be called the single step or single turn items, which are like coherence, consistency, etc. So various semantic virtues, and what can be called the multi-turn aspects of the same. So this is related to chat and reasoning. Whereas in the behavioral part, you also have this distinction whether you're looking at the task progression and planning or then individual selection and usage of tools. So let's dive into each of these and paying also attention to the fact that truthfulness is ultimately achieved by grounding the representations in your data, often with RAG. Whereas the goal achievement is what actually is achieved by grounding to the tools that the agent has available. And this is sort of a symmetry that is not accidental because in a sense there's similarity and analogy between representations and behaviors because representing the world is a kind of activity, so you can see that that the representations are in a sense a special case of tools, special case of behaviors. And let's then dive into these individual parts of the map. So first, looking at the semantic quality for the singleton case. So here we have these universal virtues. There's a long list of these that you can look at, and these are actually non-agentic in a sense, and we are only covering them here because of completeness so that you can sort of understand these agentic parts through this contrast. So these are things like is the reply that the agent is giving to the user, is this consistent, is the content actually safe, and so on and so on. And then there's the interesting and important part of whether whatever the agent is actually saying, if it's aligning with the values of the organizations or people who are the stakeholders, and also whether it adheres to the policies of the same. RAG, or what could be more generally called the attention management, is then something that you need to measure through specific evaluators, such as those looking at whether the retrieved context was correct, whether all of it was comprehensively recalled, and so on and so on. And ultimately relating the answers to the external reality through what is often called the faithfulness, which is then separate from both the answer question relevance and also from the notion of factfulness in general, which relates to the reality beyond just the reference data that the RAG is using. So now moving forward, we should also pay attention to the fact that the RAG evaluations actually come in many forms, and they also have certain symmetries that are not that difficult to understand when you look at them through a map like this. So they are all just essentially looking at different relationships between the parts of the RAG pipeline. But this is not the main topic of the presentation, so you can look up more information through the background material links that we will provide. So then moving to the multi-turn case, the multi-turn in the semantic quality sense means essentially chat, conversation histories, how do these develop, what sort of things we want to look for in these, consistency, etc., adherence and sticking to the topics, when that is actually necessary. Sometimes we want to allow changing topics if the, for example, a chatbot user wants to change the topic, or sometimes we don't, but we need to be able to be aware of this. Then super important and almost groundbreaking progress has been achieved by investments in reasoning. So you can also actually evaluate reasoning traces, the reasoning chain of thought, if allowed to use that term here. And that's sort of another way of looking at the kind of sequential or multi-turn and sequential kinds of activities that the agent is just doing in the course of its reasoning and representations of the world before we even taking any kind of actions. And now we move to the action side. So here we have things to evaluate, such as whether the agent is actually following instructions. Is it extracting the tool characteristics correctly? Is it selecting the right, is the right tool being selected? Is the output quality of the tools correct? Are the errors situations handled correctly? Are the structures in the JSON tool usage format, are they correct? So these are all the things that relate to the behaviors, even before you have a chain of behaviors. And when you move to this chain of behaviors or multi-step or multi-turn cases, so then you actually start to look at like, are the actions that the agent is taking converging towards actually achieving its goal? And is the plan that the agent might have actually consistent, and is it actually high quality in whatever sense you want to measure that? So then both of these are actually grounded on external reality. So like mentioned, the representations are grounded on truthfulness, and the activities and behaviors are ultimately grounded by goal achievement and utility. And this is what sort of is the ultimate metric to everything else that the agent is trying to do, and all these other things along the way are sort of just proxy metrics, so to speak. Moving to other practical considerations, we can only scratch the surface here, so I'm just sort of listing, not to leave these out, but they don't neatly fall into this general map that I presented, but should also be taken into account on the background. So most important of which is the cost and latency optimization. So generally you want the agent to progress towards its goal as quickly as possible and as cheaply as possible. So cost and latency optimization, the number of steps optimization, and then moving to what you often are going to need, which is the tracing and debugging. So being able to actually see where did the agent go wrong. Error management here refers to dealing with the errors of the tool usage, so not the actual like semantic errors that the agent is doing in the course of its inference and thinking process. Very important distinction to keep in mind is the offline versus online testing. So what are the things that you can actually try out and evaluate during development, and what are the things that you can do and must do or should do during the actual online activities of the agent. And these are actually going to become like two very distinct dimensions that could be also included on the map, but that would make the map more complicated, so that's why I'm just mentioning them here now separately. And then we have various special cases that I don't have time to cover. Some of these are more refined and more advanced than others, and some of these things are sort of more researchy, and there's a lot of papers on each of these topics. And depending on what you're doing, some tool-specific metrics might actually be useful to add to the mix, even and they might even be rather simple to implement because the tools are often something as easy, as straightforward as like API calls and such things that can actually be just measured separately using more traditional software testing methodologies. One important part to mention here is that a lot of these measurements are going to be implemented with LLM as charge techniques. And now the caveat behind these is that quite often when people start implementing these evaluation methodologies, they are looking at this kind of a single tier approach. Single tier here means that you're focusing on optimizing this operative LLM flow, meaning that you're optimizing your agent, which makes sense. But if you only are concerned with getting some scores on what the agent is doing, then you're sort of forgetting that what about all the cost, latencies, uncertainty related to the charge itself, the charge that is on the background. So you should be actually taking into account as early as possible that you are going to need to also optimize the charge itself. And this is what we could call double tier. So you need to optimize both the operative LLM flow that powers your agent and then this judgment flow that actually powers your evaluations. And this is a rather complex situation in general, and we are calling this EvalOps because this seems like a separate kind of thing that involves evaluations that themselves are so complicated, so expensive and slow that they sort of earn their own category of activities. And this is something that we have written about, and you can also find more about this on the source materials. The general gist of it is that EvalOps is kind of a special case of LLM ops and actually operates on different kinds of entities that the LLM ops in general. And then it also requires different ways of thinking, different kind of software implementations, and also essentially a different kind of resourcing to get those evaluations right. So thank you very much. This was only a brief glimpse on the general landscape. I hope the map is helpful to you, and please take a look at the source materials, which will give you more depth to each of these topics. And happy to discuss any of these things, and let me know if I'm forgetting something crucial, and this presentation will of course be obsolete by the time it goes out. So probably when you're watching this, there's already some major developments have happened, but that's how it is on this general life of AI engineers. So let's go out there and make our agents measurable, controllable, and let's make sure they are actually doing our bidding and not rebelling against our ultimate intentions. Thank you very much.